On this training, we're going to talk about healing the brain of a child or at an adult who is very dear to you. It's always important to start with a place of hope. Always when you start this journey of working with your child or somebody who is very dear to you, start with a space of hope. Create a hope in this for this healing, because when we are operating from despair and disbelief, then that limit possibilities which could happen within the relationship. So there is a difference even in the size between a normal brain and an extreme neglect. This is a 3 years old child. So even neglect do affect the brain physically. A brain of a child with ADHD, and this is a normal brain. So even we could see the difference on L levels. A size between a difference between a size of a healthy brain and a brain with ADHD. A typical child and a child with autism, there is definitely different in the connections. There is a normal brain, and this is an Asperger brain, so we could always see the ability to process what is seen. Um, so to start this journey, we really need to understand how the brain functions and works. So how does the brain grow? That will help us to understand how the brain will grow. There is part of the brain which work on the memory. There is part of the brain work with sleep and dreaming, breathing, coordination, visual auditory system, information transfer. So every part of the brain has a certain function. And it is just important to understand how it can be really very rich to understand how our brain works. And the areas of different cognition brain function, the part for the hearing, the part for the vision, the part for the mental function, the speech, the memory, the temporal lobe. Every part have a brain, have a certain function. Supplementary motor on this part. Yeah, so it's just like the more you understand how your brain function, or the more you understand how your child brain function, that will help you to make the best program and the best plan to support them with their journey of healing. So we always start with excellent nutrition. That is number one to help the development and the growth of the brain. The brain function with pure water, glucose, salt, oxygen, protein, fats, and opportunities. And we're going to discuss each one in detail. So we start with oxygen. Without oxygen, there is no life. So into the brain, oxygen goes, out of the brain, carbohydrate. So that is like so important. Yeah. So your brain uses 20% of the total blood and oxygen in your body. That makes oxygen so vital for life. Pure water is so important. Pure water is number one nutritional objective for your child wellness. The brain is 80% water. The limbic area of the brain is 90% water. Water is an energy conductor. Generally, a child should drink half of their weight in ounces of pure water per day. So, are you drinking enough water? Is your child drinking enough water? You can monitor this by just checking the wee. The darker the color, that means they must be hydrated, and the healthier, the lighter the color of the yeah. Okay, so what are there are some signs of you're not drinking enough water? So yeah, think twice before forgetting your water intake every day. Yeah. So how do you tell if you are drinking or not drinking enough water? So are you hungry? So they always check with your soul if you're really hungry, or if you're just thirsty and you need to drink more water at this time. Feeling tired or cranky can be a sign. Check your skin. So dehydrated skin will appear rough and dry. Check your clock. So when is the last time you answered the call of nature? A healthy adult should empty their bladder 6 to 10 times per day. Are you doing this? Okay, water can be contaminated with heavy metals. They can be lead, copper, mercury, and like there are few metals in drinking water. Copper, arsenic, mercury. You know, it's so important at this time and age to have a water system in your kitchen to drink filtered water from the source. Yeah, uh, we have another presentation about the different water system. I don't really agree with bottled water, because they will be sitting in the supermarket shops for a very long time, and the plastic leak inside the water, and all the like the jug filters. It is like it can harbor like lots of harmful bacteria, because it's just sitting there for a long time in a damp space. So the best thing is like filter the water from the source and drink it immediately. So please try to invest in a decent family filter system, and I recommend the eSpring filter. Salt. The brain would never function without salt. So look into your salt you're putting in front of your child. I recommend pink Himalayan salt or sea salt, because the regular table salt is full of chemical, and the pink Himalayan is full of minerals. So it's so important to bring more minerals into your child's table. Glucose is also very vital for the brain. The brain would not function without glucose. There are food which are high in glucose. Honey, this is so important to check where you are getting your honey, because now you get like very cheap honey from supermarket, and the bees, they feed them like sugar, and you don't really want to bring that also. So I recommend maybe use dry fruit, raisins, or dates. And we know dates are very important. What they contain is just so vital, and very rich with so much nutrition. Protein is also so vital for the brain. Why? Why is it important to start the day with protein? Because the amino acid in the protein, they build new cells, synthesize new protein, and tissue maintenance. Yeah, so that is so important to bring protein in our diet. It can be like from milk, dairy product, or meat. But like I always say, dairy with moderation. We'll talk about this more later. And I would say try to take it from nuts, almond, or walnuts is more rich than. Fats are also very vital for the brain. Food with fat is like I always recommend like plant-based, like cold breast oil, avocado, coconut, and nuts and seed. This is so vital. Omega-3, like for a child or an adult with a brain condition, it is important to take supplementation. Your brain uses it to build brain and nerve cell, and these fats are essential for learning and memory. So consider investing in a decent supplement. Walnuts. Walnuts is also amazing, because even the walnut resemble the brain. They are rich in alpha acid, plant-based omega-3 fatty. Walnut also possesses many polyphonic compounds than any other type of nuts. Both omega-3 fatty acid and polyphenol are considered critical brain food that may help the brain in so many ways. Supplementation is so vital. Keep them away from sun light and heat, because nowadays the food we eat does not really have everything. The fast production made our food depleted from so much minerals and good nutrition. Why smart carbs are important from vegetables and fruit. Eat from the rainbow. That help antioxidant and keep the brain young. Always cook with herbs and spices. Like turmeric is important for Alzheimer, saffron antidepressant, thyme, rosemary boost memory, cinnamon improve attention and blood sugar antioxidant, garlic, oregano boost blood flow to the brain, hot spices like ginger help to boost metabolism. So the brain also grows with physical stimulation. This is like neuroplasticity. Yeah, so the brain continually organizes itself by forming new neural connection throughout life. The brain is always developing, and that is neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity is the brain ability to create new pathway based on new experiences. So any new experiences you go through in your life, it helps to bring new pathway. It refers to a change in neural pathway and synapses that result from change in behavior, environmental, and neural processes, and change resulting from bodily injury. Neuroplasticity had replaced the formerly held theory that the brain is a physiologically static organ and explore how the brain changes throughout life. So now we believe the brain is always developing with the neuroplasticity. So how to enhance neuroplasticity? Mental exercise, positive mental habit, lifelong learning, aerobic exercise, motivated behavior, quality social interaction, healthy nutrition, stress reduction technique, emotional regulation, therapeutic intervention. All of these rewiring your brain. So opportunities. How the brain grow? By stimulating it. So how can you stimulate your child? By spending quality time with your child. Give them a space to explore and to grow. And while they are doing this, by you being present, that is like a gift when you give them the one important and precious thing in life, your time. So environmental toxic, switch your personal care and cleaning product to more natural ones. Avoid harsh chemicals. And we all know about vaccination and what it does to the brain. So switch to natural, healthy product to clean your EMF, electromagnetic fields. So these are mobiles and television. Try to eliminate or monitor the way they use and be careful where you put the remote because it can be stimulating some meridians in your body. External toxic like dental work, avoid filling with mercury. These are the silver filling. Try to use like friendly products on the mouth. Lead poisoning. It affects the body of a child, the brain, the body, kidneys, nervous system, blood of an adult, also the nervous system, the reproductive, the kidneys, digesting, the brain. So we need to be careful about metal poisoning. Lead exposure is really affect on the child. Kids absorb up to 70% of lead. Adults absorb about 20%. So lead are more deceptive and more vulnerable. And it is often undetected, no obvious symptoms, and it can lead to learning disabilities, behavioral problems, malformed bones, a slow growth. Very high level can cause seizures, coma. Yeah, so we have to be careful about metal poisoning. So in the body we have three brains. The head brain, the heart brain, the gut brain. The head brain have 100 billion neurons, the heart brain have 40,000 neurons, the gut brain have 100 million neurons. So there are neurons in all these organs and they are very connected. So how do we look after them and help them to communicate with each other? Yeah, by probiotic food. Probiotic food help the bacteria in our digestive system, and that help our brain neurons too. So what is probiotic food? Like kefir, yogurt, sour cream, fermented kombucha, raw apple cider vinegar for salad dressing. It's so important to understand how the brain and the gut communicate. There are neurons in the gut, there are neurons in the brain, and this cycle is so important. So if your child or an adult digestive system is not working to a high level, that will definitely affect the brain. So the systematic communication and the neural communication, the vagal sympathetic and HPA axis. So they are definitely a very strong connection between these two brains. What is a gut-brain connection? The gut immune system is important for communication and the relationship between the gut and the brain. So the one whole system. Troubled gut send messages to the brain. Troubled brain send messages to the gut. So they are very, very connected. So we need to look up after each one. Probiotic may help boost mood and cognitive function. That is why it's important to introduce probiotic in our food. We also need to avoid gluten. Gluten is a protein found in grain. For some children, it is difficult to digest. Reduce mucus like pumpkin, grapefruit, pineapple, pickle, onion and garlic, honey, ginger, chamomile, olive oil. And the food which will cause more mucus in the body, dairy products, eggs, bread and cereals. I would say these mucus producing food, just have them with moderation. There is an invisible cord between you and your child. You need to be in a good place to support your child and to start this journey and to design your child program and to get through the day. Start with understanding your child. Is your child having the basic needs met? Do you really understand your child personality and your child's temperament? We have a session on personality type, but you can read to understand if your child extrovert, introvert, active, passive, choleric, melancholic. You just need to understand a little bit about personality type and to know how to make the most of your program. And to start with a healthy lifestyle, reduce stress, exercise, eat healthy, and drink plenty of water. And always assess your result monthly. So always have new goals, big dreams, set your goals and take actions. So new program and new ideas, always be open for new ideas. Organization is so vital and time management is so important when you're doing this. And when you start, you need to prepare by reading and you need to take action and you maintain it. Maybe you relapse, but it always come back, always keep on track, always. So maintain a balance between all the sensory organs, respiratory, sensory, motor, and social program. Include all of these in your program. Design your child program. What is a priority? What is needed to be changed? And decide the quantity your child needs for change or care. So maintain the main things to keep the main thing. Yeah. So the vital program, you give them more time. The important, you give them less. And the nice program, you give them the least time. So when you design your program, make a checklist that can be rearranged. Begin with one thing at a time. Use a timer to remind you and your child throughout the day. Add a little more each day. Once consistent, add the next aspect of the program. Your checklist is like sensory, olfactory, the hearing, the reading, and you need to introduce crawling and creeping. Why is that important? Because in the rainforest, with all the creepers on the ground, mothers always carry the child on their back. But we all know about the great civilization, the Roman. They have these platforms, and even in Egypt, and the children crawl and creep on these platforms, which are safe, and that make great civilization. So crawling and creeping help to develop the brain on a different level. So you do an integrated therapy. You design an integrated therapy. First one looking into the nutrition and the detox from the heavy metal, then sensory stimulation, and then ontogenetic motor opportunity, crawling, the creeping, the walk and the run and the balance. Number 4, respiratory therapy, reflex pack, a carbogene, passive coordinated breathing. Number 5, emotional and social development, behavioral boundaries, communication, eating, toileting, independence, socializing, play, working together. Number 6, education and language, reading, writing, math, language, homeschooling, neural feedback. Number 8, manual biofeedback. Number 6, homeopathy. Number 10, hyperbaric therapy. 11, energy work. 10, craniosacral work. Craniosacral work will help with the brain function. I'm a great fan of the craniosacral work, and it is one of the therapies which is recommended by the Family Hope Center for Children who visit the center. So your program will be rotating between all of these: the nutrition, detox, mobility, basic brain organizing, sensory stimulation, the smell, the hearing, the oral and the vision, visual and learning reading, the emotional and social development, the coordination, reflex integration, structure program, craniosacral and chiropractic, and respiratory therapies and reflex back. So you need to do a little bit of everything every day. The typical session: when your child is awake, stimulate as many functions as possible. The vision, light reflex, vision 2, tracking light, auditory, the sound, tactile, brush him when you change him, mobility, give him an opportunity to move, olfactory, give him 3 smells and 1 to taste. So learning and reading: after the child sleep or eat, begin stimulating again, and the next function on the list. So you do this as a family. The whole family need to come together and do this. And it is so important to be consistent. Consistency is a key. And to be patient through this process. And to be kind to yourself. Find a quiet place to reflect every day. Breathe deeply. Bring your positive qualities to mind. Give yourself love and a big hug. And conclude by recognizing you are being positive and you're doing the best you could. And laughter is so vital. It's the best medicine. The benefit of laughing is reduce heart disease, natural painkiller, improve breathing, help you lose weight, decrease stress, make you look younger. Always end the day in a beautiful way. Quality time, sleep time, calming down period, 1 or 2 hours before bedtime. Remember, affection and unconditional love is the first step to heal for your child. Start your journey now. You have all the tools and you have all the love for your child. You are the best one who can do this for him. Start now. All the best. If you do need one-to-one support, let me know. I will be happy to help. If you find this information useful, please give donation to support us to produce more of this information. Use the link provided. Thank you for your support.